I'm gonna be back in college soon. I'm trying to cut this one off. She's too clingy and need me more demons. Help me. Yo, what can I do for you? Zora Mina, I appreciate the 5 months. You dig. Chad, what's the hardest girl you ever had to like cut a girl off, bro? Like, what's the hardest you ever dealt with, bro? I ain't gonna lie, I remember I dealt with this one joint, and it was crazy, bro, because it's like I shot at her. Like, that's the craziest part. And it wasn't even like when I cracked and changed up shit. Like, it wasn't even like that. It was just like, you know, when I couldn't really handle my avoidance shit like I do now, gang, I used to just ghost people, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Chat, I was like the worst ghoster ever, gang. Like, it's actually, I used to think something was wrong with me, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, do I have feelings? It's like, cause I would care about people, but I don't know why I just could never care past a certain extent. I don't know what it was, bro. So, it was this one time, right? Boom. Mind you, this girl had a car with no license. I don't even know. I'm just have to mention this detail because it's one specific thing I remember, right? So I didn't have a car at the time. This is like 2020, right? 2020 during COVID and shit, right? So listen, gang, she lived about like an hour and a half from me, right? So she was trying to see me. COVID happened. We got sent home from college, so it wasn't as convenient to link and shit like that. So it was like, I think it was like near her birthday, right? So boom, so she goes, all right, let me know where you live. I'm gonna get a hotel near you. I ignored that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even tell her that. She ended up calling me. She's like, all right, I got this hotel, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna let you drive my car. You could use my car. You know what I'm saying? I just wanna see you, da, 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 da. I'm like, all right, bet. Nigga, when I tell you, I don't even know why. I just put up like the meanest hezzy ever, gang. Like, she bought a whole hotel, offered the car, and still didn't like read the writing on the wall, bro. I don't know what it is, gang. I don't know what it is, bro. But like when I had poor communication skills, it's like it wasn't even my fault. It wasn't even my fault, bro. Chad, listen. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't even know. I'm just done explaining this story, bro. It's gonna make me look horrible, okay? I used to be the hezzy of doom, bro. I used to have poor communication skills, but it's like women used to just not even care. Our roster's overrated. Is it a hot take? I ain't gonna lie, chat. A roster past 5 is overrated, bro. Unless it's on some low management shit, gang. She wasn't even dirt, bro. She wasn't even dirt. She was not dirt, gang. Green eyes, brown, light skin, brown skin type joint. Girl, like, yo. I don't even know what it was, bro. When I be feeling like just being to myself, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I be getting in certain bags, bro, where it's like, I definitely just don't want to be bothered. A woman tried telling me how I should move with her because her ex didn't want her talking to everyone. Still in business that I didn't. I ain't changing how I'm moving for another man. Never heard from her since. Look, that cooked her. Let you know. Nigga, past 5. 5 what? Sometimes glad to see you're doing well, bro. Nah, I appreciate that, gang. Appreciate that, gang. Hey, I'm the same way. Can't win a shit without a big 3. She only have 3 on the roster. Okay. Chad, what do y'all think an ideal roster number is? Like, if y'all was having it y'all way, shout out to the hype train in the building. We immediately shot up like 20 subs. We about to hit 400 already. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much, gang. 3? Y'all really like 3? Now, Chad, are we talking low management or dedicated 3? Like a dedicated 3, like, or low management relationships? Nigga said 3 to 7. That's a wide ass range. Bro, if you're doing low management, then 3 is just not, like, that's not cutting it. Like, if you have 3, they all have to be treated like supermaxes, basically. Like, real shit, bro. If you low management, bro, you need to be doing like 5 to 10, bro. Yo, Taekwondo, what's good, little bro? Long time. Yo, I don't fucking know you. I'm not your little homie, nigga. I don't know you. All right, it's your last stream, bro. You're banned. Straight to Uzbek Kuku, stand in the gulag, bro. One-way trip. Dedicated 3, low management 5. Okay, why do y'all say 3, though? Why do y'all say 3? The reason Yeah, why? Let me hear why y'all say 3 first. Just because you don't kill don't mean she's on your roster. Just because you kill, yo, can I fucking read English or is that sentence cooked? Just because you kill don't mean she's on your roster. That's a good point, bro. Because you could have sex with a woman, but you don't, that don't mean that you have the woman. I feel like when a girl is on your roster, right, that's different than like having hoes. Like being on your roster is a two-way commitment, damn near. Not as far as like exclusiveness, but it's like it's just the treatment you get out of her. You feel me? Like she'll come to see you, no problem. You could be spontaneous as you want, and she won't go. Right, bro? Learn that from you. Whoa. What did you learn from me? Whoa, slow down. What did you learn from me, bro? I ain't teach you none of that shit. Ty Love from Philly. I appreciate that game. Shout out 215 in the building, man. 3 easy to manage is enough to not get bored. This is the thing, bro. When you have a crazy booming roster, one thing you learn is like you cannot make promises, gang. Like for example, it'll get to a point where everybody want to FaceTime you on the same day. Then it'll get to the point, you know what it used to annoy me when I had a roster, bro? It's like they all start acting up at the same time. Am I tripping, chat? It's like they all just start acting up at the same time. You be looking at your clipboard like, yo, I will throw this whole team away. Yo, I will throw this whole organization in the trash, bro. Paranormal Blacktivity, I appreciate the big 2 years in the building, gang. Yo, I know I ain't tripping, bro. It's like they just start trying you. They start testing you. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sage God, I appreciate the Twitch Prime sub. We could talk some game. We could talk some real game shit right now, chat. I'm feeling, y'all want to swim or y'all want to drown, chat. I'm feeling some game shit right now. We talk about some game. We can go on some OG vibes. Have a deep talk right now. You feel me? Because thinking about roster talk, right? You're saying I'm cuffed now. I'm a cuffed man. You know what I'm saying? But we can talk some real shit. So my fellow Somali lover, yo, I'm not Why are you not banned? This is your last stream. All right, listen. So, if you like Hispanic women, right? Latinas, you know, Dominican joint, Hispanic joints, right? Or you like girls with a little bit of spice in them, and you have a roster, right? This shit is like a testament of your composure, of your poise as a man, gang, because it's like Hispanic women come with rage bait. Like, they come with default rage bait in their genes. Like it's like in their skin to rage bait you. So you could be having a normal conversation or just talking about some casual shit, and you literally have to be skilled at reacting in a way where the conversation remains on an energy level that you like. You know, for example, she might say something like, shut the fuck up. Crazy shit. Like crazy shit, bro. Just testing you. Albanians too, they're evil. I ain't gonna lie, I had an Albanian girlfriend when I was like 15 or maybe 14 in high school. I don't even want to talk about that story, bro. That's like the only girl who ever like tried to almost play me, bro. Hey, Tick Kai J, I appreciate the 29 months, gang.
No see Ty.
Yo, you just brought back a memory. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I was messing with a girl and I was like 14, 15, that was like my closest to being a limp, chat. No, genuinely, that was my closest to being a limp, bro. My high school had hella Albanians, bro. Albanian girls, Albanian guys. I always got hella along with like the Albanian guys, for real. And then I did talk to a girl one time and she was Albanian, but she wasn't like. I got Albanian friends. I'm not even trying to be racist when I say this. She wasn't like. She was cultured. Let me just say that. She was cultured. Like you had to find out she's Albanian. And that's not usually the case with Albanians. Zemo Albanian? No, Zemo's Algerian. See, this is the thing. Algeria is in Africa, but Algerians look not African. So I can see how you would think he's Albanian. Right, seasoned. Like you wouldn't even know. You don't even know she's Albanian. I feel like, yo, I be seeing Albanians have curly hair. BTM Jr. with the 38 months. I appreciate you, gang. Gang, I'm gonna tell you, this was the closest I ever was to being a limb, chat. Yo, Chad, don't you know me and her exchanged Instagrams? K.SW, I appreciate the T1 sub. Bryce 1K, I appreciate the T1 sub, gang. Let me tell you something, bro. Yo, I remember she was like, if you want to crack, I gotta be your girlfriend. Like, straight up told me this. That lasted a week. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I was a devious boy back in the day, yo. I swear to God. Yo, I was crazy back in the day, yo. Like, I don't know what was, like, I just didn't care, bro. I genuinely did not care, bro. That was a 10-day contract. I signed that shit with a pencil. Yeah, we gonna erase that in a couple of days. Yo. But this is the thing, bro. This is the thing, bro. I consider that my closest limit because I never exchanged my Instagram password with a girl before. And you know what is crazy? Like, she used to have a way of trying to kind of like, it's great. That girl, I give her credit because she was the reason I started getting more strict. Like, she would like bait me with certain shit. Like, she'd be like, you could have my password, you can have my Instagram, but I want yours too. Bro, I was doing shit with her Instagram I never even did before. Like, that's why I don't do that shit no more, chat. Like, yo, chat, have anybody in here, keep it a beam, bro. Have y'all ever had a girl's Instagram? Like, ever been logged? This is some high school shit, by the way. I'm talking about this, like, I was in 10th grade, gang. 9th, 10th grade, maybe, like, gang. So I want to get in the core real quick. All right, we're going to do that later. Have y'all ever had a girl's Instagram, bro? I'm trying to tell y'all, gang. Yo, chat, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I was like, in high school when I was younger, bro, I was petty, confident, and somehow insecure at the same time, bro. I don't understand what build I had. I don't understand my build, gang. Yo, shout out my boy Dre the Topic in the chat, man. What's good, gang? Yo, chat. It's like I was having a roster, but I would still be like, I still would be tender somehow. I don't know, bro. I literally don't understand my build, bro. I don't even know how I had time to be tender. I'm doing my own thing on the side, but you better not play me. You ever feel like in the OC, even if you cuffed? Nah, not really. Anytime I was in a relationship, I really was locked in. Nah, yeah, Tinder ain't Tinder for sure, but I ain't gonna lie. Like, if I was to show y'all like old DMs of me getting mad at women I used to talk to, bro, I used to be so like, I don't know why, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like I was getting rage baited though. Like, why are you posting talking about some best friend? Who is this nigga? Who are these niggas? I swear, bro, being in high school and talking to a lot of women is like character development. It genuinely is character development, bro. I used to, gang, let's see him. I gotta think of something. I gotta think of like a specific person. I used to like literally rage bait bad. Like, I used to rage bait so bad. Showed them. All right, hold on. Should I look for these bitches? Yo, all right, hold on. Let me see. I got a specific joint in mind, like a literal. Rage bait of doom. Hold on, let me see something. Man, there's a lot of Philly lingo in here, bro. Y'all gotta understand. This is like, it's a lot of, you might see a lot of Philly lingo, bro, that y'all might not understand. I might literally have to translate this shit. Hold on. yo, wait, damn. I don't want to take, all right, listen. I'm gonna have to either take 3 screenshots or read this shit out loud. Should I just read this shit out loud, chat? I don't feel like screenshotting all this shit. Hold on. Read it. All right, hold on. All right, so you know, listen, so you know I'm not lying. Hold on, wait. Let me just show it. Let me just take this one. Hold on, watch this. I'm gonna show how petty I used to be, bro. Watch this. Let me crop this Instagram out, bro. This is like the funniest shit ever to me, bro. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me, gang. You nervous, Todd? Nah, I'm not nervous, bro. You making me nervous. All right, hold on. Y'all can see? Bro, chat, was I lying, bro? Cut. What you mean cut? First of all, that's my best friend. You cut, shorty. That's what it means. That's my best friend. What do you mean? You're so mature and everything. Yeah, this is your actions. You're doing that. What? Showing that you just like the rest. Right, yeah, Todd. Real of you to make the moves you're doing. Okay. Yo, you know what I did a day later? I posted me on a date, bro. That's why she said anybody in reply to my story. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know what was like, why I was playing these games, bro. Yo. Yo. Oh, wait, hold on. You know what's, all right, listen. I'm gonna show you Hezzy. All right, hold on. Boom. Let me take that one. Bam. Hold on. Bam. All right, look. All right, hold on. Let me delete this out the way so I can forget the last one and not distract myself. I ain't gonna lie, with the one y'all about to see right now, gang, y'all gonna see me DM the same person a couple days later. Just a Hezzy. Just a Hezzy, bro. Oh, let me show you something. I'm just trying to crop this gram out, bro. I don't know what was wrong with me, chat. Like, I genuinely just enjoyed rage baiting, bro. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to crop that. All right, look. I'm gonna let y'all read it. I forgot what I commented. I don't even know what that was. Me too. You playing with me? What you mean? You want to overreact and cut me off? So this is your fault. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, this is the ultimate Hezzy right here. Cut somebody. Yo, if you want some toxic shit, bro. Like I said, these days is behind me. But I'm gonna drop the dark arts, bro. I gotta get all this stuff off my skin, bro. I gotta like clear it off me, bro. If a leak, bro, cut somebody off and then like just text him like nothing happened, bro. Like I was infamous for this game. Boom. This is like literally like a week later or something like that. Just need my time. I'm cooling now. Or you can stop playing then because you be on some weird shit. Hi, yo, I cut you off one time for some Joe shit. All right, look, Chad. Basically in Philly, Joe mean like dickying, like you're hype, like you being jovial, like you feel me? Like Joe mean you're dick eating. So I'm basically like saying she was dick eating for posting another nigga talking about best friend. Like the fuck. Exactly, and I'm question mark or I said debating it for real. Cause you went and did everything I didn't want you doing. Okay, keep thinking then. This on you though, remember that. Don't hit me up later. Fuck you mean this on me? I ain't tell you to be on some shit like that, and if it was backwards, you'd have been bitching. It was never that serious. The thing about it is, I'm over here trying to talk to you when you went to draw because you needed time for yourself. Oh, all right, say that then. I ain't draw by saying I'm gonna cool off you. You don't know what drawing is, I guess. L ads. Y'all got cooked. So look. Should I stop, chat? Should I wait for the ads? Should I wait for the ads? Is there no ads or is it saying fuck the grunts? Is it what's draw? So, yo, who in here from Philly? How do I explain draw? Like drawing. If somebody say you drawing or I was drawing, that mean like you was doing too much, like you crashed out, kinda. Like it could be like it could almost kind of in the context. In that context, it kind of meant like crashed out. You know, you tweaking, like you tweaked out, you did too much. Yeah, like, but drawn can mean like you doing too much. Usually it means you doing too much. In that context though, she was trying to say like you crashed out, like you draw, like you didn't have to take me, you didn't have to cut me off over that post. That's why I said like you don't know what drawing is, because if you think that's drawing, shit. So the fact that I was even trying to work something out with you when you wasn't, my nigga, you didn't notice that, right? You didn't know what I was going to say to you. You decided to ignore me and hit me with an okay. I didn't even know, Chad, I was avoidant. Like, now I'm so self-aware. I kind of realized in a lot of emotionally intense situations, I shut down. Bye. See you next week. I'm not dealing with all that. Now I'm like aware of that shit, bro. But back then, it was deuces, gang. I basically was nonchalant, Keyword was then I see some shit that hurt. But a real one wouldn't just ignore a chick that's not really your chick. That I thought it was good vibes and still trying to talk to you. I thought you were otherwise. Yo, what? Wait, I'm reading like, what is he talking about? Yo, that boy Juice22, I appreciate the Twitch Prime sub, gang. Wait, what is he talking about? I get where you was coming from, but the thing about it, yo, this is like, women is like delusional, bruh. Slow down. No, these is like Toxic Chronicles. I'm gonna write a book one day. I want like a personal book of just stories that have nothing to do with like game, bruh. I get where you're coming from, but the thing about it, you never heard me out. Yeah, maybe if it was turned out around, I would have been bitching, but I see a nigga putting in some effort, trying to talk to me or work something. I wouldn't just hit you with an okay, or I don't care if I really did. But that was the difference. I started to care. You never did. I've been let the situation go and I'm just over it now. Okay. And I said, now text my phone, baby. Now watch this though. Watch this. Now text my phone, baby. I'm about to go to sleep. No, you can text my phone. Nope. Not doing it. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Like, I was like the worst nigga to run into ever. Like, nope. Nope. How dare, like, yo, chat, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. But now that I'm so aware now that I've grown and matured so much, I used to realize, like, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of this shit was ego driven. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It was ego driven, and it was motivated by like pure love of the game. Like, don't tell me what to do. Like, don't I'm telling you, I was so petty, gang. If I even felt like a girl was trying to make me limp or like trying to play with me, no, I throw the whole thing. I literally, I don't know what it was. Like I had, my pride was so big. My ego was so big, but it's not like I would try to ego her, but it's like if somebody tried to play me, nah, I'm good. Fries that. So she's talking about, no, you can text my phone. Never mind. She said, let's see where your effort at now. My point. You're where? I said, how? You gonna leave me on scene? I ain't gonna lie, bruh. Bro, I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Oh my God, bro. Toxic child, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. How you fix your avoidant problems? Because I got it too. I feel like you gotta recognize when you're having like an avoidant reaction. Chad, do y'all know about the different attachment styles that there are? Like how there's a avoidant attachment style, anxious attachment style, and then secure attachment style is the third one. If y'all don't know what that is, right, I'm gonna just basically summarize it real quick. Basically, when you're getting raised as a child, right, the relationship you have typically with the opposite sex parent is going to impact how you go and date, obviously. But when there's a disturbance in that relationship in some way, shape, or form, you turn out to be avoidant or anxious. And there might be more styles than 3, but I'm only very familiar with the 3 of them, right? And there's even more specific archetypes of these different styles. So we're just gonna keep it general, an overview right now. I know more about an avoidant because that's my personal one, and I became a lot more aware of it. So basically, you become avoidant because when you were a child, you looked for an affectionate mother, and the affection wasn't there. You looked for kindness and not necessarily to be coddled or babied, but there were times where you needed emotional validation and emotional security, and you didn't get it. So you learned to survive off of nothing. It's actually sad when you kind of realize the origins of like you being an avoidant, because when I started realizing like the origins of someone becoming an avoidant, and I looked at my life and how I was raised. Hey, no, I love my mom to death, and no disrespect to her, but she was like that. My mom was cold, chat. I had a cold mother growing up, gang. Like, I don't remember hearing "I love you." I don't remember getting kissed on the cheek. I don't remember getting hugs. I remember like really having to pull myself up by the bootstraps at like 6 years old. Like just like genuinely having to emotionally cope with myself as a kid, like genuinely. When you get more older and you get more mature, you get aware, you start realizing like, your parents had parents, right? So their relationships with their parents have impacted them, and obviously that's gonna come down the line and affect you too. So I don't blame my mom, and I don't blame myself. You take control of yourself. You do your shadow work. You look into yourself, and you do the work that's necessary to transcend that, to move past that, right? And it's an everyday process. It ain't just over in one day. So when I started reflecting on a lot of this and what the impact of it was, right? When you don't have that emotional validation and that emotional security, right? You learn to survive off of little to none. And what can happen is when you're dealing with an emotionally intense situation, right? This is a typical avoidant behavior right here. This is a sign you might be an avoidant. You and a woman are feeling each other. Things are moving along smooth. The beginning is on fire. It's fireworks. It's butterflies. It's all the above. It's just a fucking shit written out of a movie. Next thing you know, when things are getting to that phase where it kind of goes from like the talking phase to like pre-relationship, like the only thing missing is the title. This is where an avoidant literally pulls back. But it's a conflicting pullback because you kind of like the girl, you kind of want her, but you don't want to be in a relationship. And it has nothing to do with wanting to fuck other bitches and be single. But it has to do with like the intensity and the responsibility of a relationship and how it makes you feel. You just feel trapped. You feel caged. You feel like you're going to lose your independence. Avoidants are very independent. Avoidance loves alone time. They love space. Like an unrealistic amount for most people. Right? And getting attached, being in a relationship is like, it's a fear that's not like boogeyman. You jump. It's a deep feeling of fear. It's a feeling of like disappointment. Avoidance hate disappointment. This was another disappointment thing that aligned with me. I hate disappointment. I have very vivid memories of a child of asking for things and being told no, and it crushed me. Like if my expectations were ever up and they were disappointed or broken, it crushed me. So you learn to cope with that as a child. It's ways that you heal over that wound. Now it might sound stupid, you didn't get what you want, you cry baby, but it's the security it's the security. Like it has more to do with that and how fragile a child is and what they do to cope once they're not secured in those ways. You know what I'm saying? So you fast forward, it comes to a relationship and you're dealing with a person, and I give an example. There was a time in Atlanta, right, where as a mature avoidant, this is something I'll do. Instead of avoiding a conversation or just like putting something off, I'll say, because now I know how to deal with somebody who may be anxious, or I know how to communicate as a secure person. So avoidance would just avoid, like it's in the name. But when it comes to an intense conversation, hey, can we talk, right? Hey, can we talk? We got to talk about this. We got to address this issue. We got to face some emotions that are in our relationship. An avoidant, perfect thing for an avoidant to say is, can we talk about it in a couple hours? Can we talk about it at 8 p.m., 9 p.m.? You know, it's overwhelming me. Can we talk about it later? Like to just genuinely admit that you're emotionally overwhelmed. Avoidance, you have a very short emotional circuit. Like your wires will get fried fast, and when they get fried, you shut down. Yeah, it's like a form of procrastination, but it's just the simple fact that when I explain an anxious attachment, it makes sense. Anxious attachment, they need answers now. Like if something's wrong, if there's a problem or there's an argument, the longer that they sit on the argument without it being resolved, it will just make them more anxious, more worried. I need to know you're okay. Let me know you're fine. Talk to me. Like, just talk to me. Like, let's figure it out. And an avoidance are like, yo, I can't talk right now. Like, let me fucking breathe. Like, yo, you're overwhelming me. You're doing too much. You're suffocating me, right? Because I thrive off of being alone. I thrive off of space and solitude. So when it comes to an anxious, like typically the two attachment styles that are like unhealed attract each other. It's so ironic. Grew up with a loving mother and still avoidant. I'm a cook. Yeah, I just used the mother example because that's the one that resonated with me. But for you, it could be different reasons, bro. Popeyes and Turks, I appreciate the T1 sub. So hopefully my explanation is helping y'all understand like the avoidant and how the avoidance react. If you're an avoidant person, you understand what I mean and explain. You know how this shit go. But to another person, I can example. I remember in Atlanta one time, right? I was dealing with somebody and something happened. 50 ads, nice. Is literally ads running right now? Because I could just wait. I'm just like my pop. Maybe it could. I don't know. It could be inherited. But it's kind of like when you study a narcissist. Like narcissists are made. Avoidance and anxious, like these things are made. You're made, right? Because a child is just kind of naive. A child puts themselves out there to be hurt. Honestly, like a child puts themselves out there to be hurt. And there's ways that a child gets hurt that kind of like it shapes them for the long term. Now you could heal from it. You could do the work on yourself, and I'm gonna talk about that later. But choose to be your dream girl. You find out the kid isn't yours, or a girl that popped up during the third trimester tells you it's her kid and she's a good girl. What? What do you mean popped up during the third trimester? Like surprises you with a baby? Oh, the ads are done? All right, perfect. So what's the last thing I heard before the ads, fan? Or if the ads didn't interrupt me, I'll pick up right where I left off. Yo, North Phrase, like, is this like you writing a book? It's funny, be a vibe. Yeah, it is. Okay, so Atlanta. Okay. It's online. It's my life. We do what we want. So I'm kind of going to describe this with just like no disclaimer, just like privacy. But telling the details kind of makes it federal. It kind of doesn't. Okay, so it was Valentine's Day, right? And I was going to link a person that night, right? Boom, right? Something ended up happening. They didn't make it that night, and then they tried to come like early that next morning. But there was a lack of communication in the traveling of that night, and I was tired of shit. I ain't gonna lie, that's another thing. I kind of did go to sleep earlier than I normally do, but it wasn't even too early. It just was like more so the fact that the time that they was going to be there, I got tired of shit, and then it was obviously, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Boom, chalked it that night, right? Now, This person was like, oh, I know I fucked up, like yada yada yada. So they're they know I'm mad because they did something wrong. Obviously, like you just said you was gonna be here at a certain time, you wasn't, and then the night goes on, and then it's the next day. You feel me? Boom. I had like Valentine's Day shit prepped and all that, right? So boom. This person had an anxious attachment style that I'm very aware of now. So as an avoidant, I'm like, listen, I'll talk to you when I don't feel like I'm mad at you, right? I'll talk to you when I feel like I have processed what I feel, and I can talk to you from a neutral, objective space. To me, that's why I've always felt natural putting things off, because I always felt like it just gave me time to process what I'm feeling and to not react, not emotionally just outlast or something. Sports Life, I appreciate the T1 sub, gang. So because this person was a anxious attachment, right? You know what they did? I'm like, yeah, let's talk later, blah, 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 blah. Gang, they popped up at my crib with no consent. Like just popped up at my door. Like, what in the fucking baby boy? Holy serial killer? Like, puppy dog eyes. Like the whole nine, gang. Like, it was like, yo, what the fuck? Now, mind you, obviously, boom, here we are. I got to deal with it. Like, I had to deal with it in that moment. But I'm like, yo, that was a perfect example of the two attachment styles interacting and outlasting each other. Like, as an avoidant, I wanted to push the issue away and deal with it later, or 2 days. I think I literally was like, yo, I'll talk to you in like 2 days. Like, literally, something crazy I said. I forgot what I said, but it's like, no, we're gonna deal with this now. We're gonna talk about this now, and I'm pulling up. I'm 20 minutes away. You're where? You're where? You know what I'm saying? Those type of people are weird because you being here is supposed to make me less mad. Exactly, bro. But when it comes to getting past it, bro, obviously awareness is the first thing. Noticing what type of habits or patterns that you have when you have to face tough conversations, and anything could be considered a tough conversation. It could be like, you want to cancel plans. Like, you want to tell somebody, no, I don't feel like going anymore. There's a lot of situations that can make a person feel guilty. Like, let's say you haven't seen your friend in months or years, and they travel and they're in your city, and they're like, yo, we got to link, we got to do this. But you genuinely don't feel like seeing them. You've been busy all week. You're tired. You wanted to rest in on the weekend. You don't want to go out. Like, telling them no might sound simple, like, hey, man, I don't feel like it. I ain't going. But if you are not used to supporting your own emotions and standing within them, something like that could be considered tough. Like, you don't want to tell them no, so you might sacrifice your own emotions and just go, and you're not really living in your full authenticity, right? So when it comes to being avoidant, it's like, instead of just shutting off or being quiet, can you have both? I've never seen a situation with somebody like you have both. But there are all types of avoidance, man. I've seen somebody type one in the chat, fearful avoidant. I mean, we could even watch a video on this shit. There's hella interesting stuff on here. Hella, like, it even gets like psychological, but it's also kind of spiritual. I don't know. I be just interested in hella shit. I used to have an avoidance style because in uncomfortable convos, I felt pressure to answer. Therefore, I give an answer that made the situation worse. That's a great example. Honestly, that's a great example, bro. If y'all ever been in a situation where it's like, you don't know what the other person wants from you, like, you're like, what do you want? Like, what do I do? That's a typical avoidant feeling, like just sitting there and not knowing like how to process, how to respond, what to say, what to do. Or feeling rushed, feeling boxed in, feeling forced, feeling like squeezed, like feeling trapped. It's a very avoidant thing because you're avoidant, right? Because you don't have a secure attachment style, you kind of think extreme. That's what I had to realize. Like, I was thinking extreme, right? So it's like there can be a balance to things, right? It doesn't have to be all or nothing, right? You can understand your partner's needs, your partner's wants, and respect that by just communicating them. And a lot of times it's so crazy because I didn't like I didn't realize how flighty I was until I realized there was certain keywords I was saying. Like, maybe I'm just better off single, or like, you know, shit I just used to say before that's like, damn, like, it's just like an automatic trigger, be like, yeah, this shit too much. Like, I'm cool. I'm just better off dealing with myself. You think working on your avoidance change your game? Oh, for sure, for sure. Honestly, bro, I remember I seen this great video. It was a spiritual video, and it was like, the best thing you can do for somebody you're dealing with is protect them from your own demons. We carry our past experiences, our trauma, our fears, our doubts, our insecurities, to whatever extent that they are, however strong they are. But it's up to you to love somebody enough to protect them from your demons, from your own personal demons, to not give them some fake, false, unrealistic version of yourself, but to navigate and treat them carefully, right? To deal with yourself responsibly. Because there's obviously a lot of ways that you could just lash out on anger, that you could just run from your issues and your responsibilities, that you could just respond emotionally and just be just anything in a relationship. A friendship is a relationship, anything, you know. Not showing a part of who I am is inauthentic to me. Well, to me, when I hear protect somebody from my demons, to me it means get myself under control, right? It means do the self-work, do the shadow work, to where there's no part of myself that is acting out subconsciously, right? And when a lot of times you take, for example, I ain't gonna lie, when you look at things through the shadow, chat, a lot of situations you transcend the superficial way of looking at them. I remember I saw this video and there was a guy, I think his TikTok was like Ken Billions or something. And he gave such an interesting take, right? Because this is a guy who did a lot of his shadow work, but he gave such an interesting take. It was a college football coach who got caught cheating on his wife, right? And he was reacting to a video of a guy judging him. He was reacting to a video of a guy judging him. The guy was like, oh man, you just disappointed that college team. You just got fired. You lost your job. You know, how dare you disappoint your team, the kids that depended on you, your wife, your family. You broke all that up, man. And you know, he got into the video. You know, let me pull up the video. Let me pull up the video, bro. I'm gonna just pull up the video. I love people that just can think beyond the box, chat. I genuinely love unique takes, bro. Hold on, where is how long? How long ago was this video? I love people that just can think beyond the box, chat. I genuinely love unique takes, bro. Hold on, where is how long ago was this video? Hold on.
I hope every man
All right, hold on. All right, bet. I'm about to share my screen.
learn from this Sharon Moore situation that the spirit of lust is never satisfied. The spirit of lust is a demon. It is never
I can't speed videos up on the desktop? What in the brain rot?
satisfied. After having the ultimate crash out of the century, got a criminal record now. He lost his career. He'll never, won't even be able to coach out of middle school. Okay? After all of that, now You got an OnlyFans model coming out saying, yeah, he was in my DMs, and she's showing the screenshots. Trying to offer her tickets for
he got cooked from all angles, man.
For exchange for sexual favors. Like, bruh, right when you thought this story couldn't get any worse, when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it gets worse. It just goes to show you, like, the spirit of lust is never satisfied, fellas. It is a demon. No matter how good your wife is, your fiance, girlfriend, no matter how good she is to you, no matter how good your wife is to you, it just goes to show his wife wasn't enough. Okay. Then he stepped outside of his wife, dealing with his assistant. His assistant wasn't even enough. Now he's even trying to step outside of that. The spirit of lust is a demon. It is never satisfied. It is never satisfied.
Now watch where this goes, chat. Watch where this goes. You gotta understand where this is about to go, bro.
And I just feel so sorry for that wife is those beautiful daughters. I feel sorry for those boys at that program that was depending on him, funny, bro. That he let down. The coaching staff that he let down. The school within itself he let down. All of that. This man let his whole family and his lineage down.
AI.
The smell of judgment. I love it. I love the smell of judgment. Yo, we can't always run everything through the same filter when something happens. Like, this is pretty much the same reaction everybody's going to have. This is why you deal with the shadow. Because when you understand the shadow, you understand everything that's going on in the light. The things that we're calling the spirit of lust, the spirit of greed, the spirit... This is just stuff that goes on inside the human body. They're not separate spirits, right? How come these spirits never affect trees? Like, how come a tree is not damaged by the spirit of lust? What about a tree?
You gotta let this nigga cook, Chad. Right? You gotta let this nigga cook,
spirits, so they should be able to jump into any physical body, right? No, man. Lust, all that shit is not spirits. It's just part of humanity, right? And it's our job, if we choose to take it on, to master these things for ourselves, nobody else. But you study the shadow to understand what's going on in the light. Now, when people heard this, your automatic thing is judgment, but nobody will ever first think of maybe, just maybe, the life that this individual asked for started being pressure. The pressure of being married, the pressure of coaching a team, right? Just the pressure of being responsible for his entire lineage. Who prepares you for stuff like that, right? I'm not really concerned with the outcome. That's going to be what it's going to be. What I want to talk about, if I was coaching this individual or being a friend to this individual, tell me what it was like to go into work every day. What is it like to coach a major university? See, I want to hear about the fears. I want to hear about the insecurities, and then it's going to tell me a lot about the outcome of what happened. Cause and effect, right? So we see that this individual crashed out. He got a mistress. Then we looking at that. That's not my concern. What did it feel like in your body, right? I want this individual to begin to unpack the role that he's playing, the pressures of his manhood, And you can't say what you would do and what you wouldn't do, because the funny thing about these judgments is motherfuckers act like when they see something, they don't know what they looking like. Everybody got a vice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a vice. You know what I mean? Some people are able to live a long time with their vice. Some people's vice crashes them out. But what I want to talk about is, how do we get there? The cause and effect aspects of the whole situation. The pressures that go into making a lot of money. The pressures that it goes into being married. Women go through the same pressures, right? Now,
we don't gotta watch the whole thing, but I don't know. It's such an interesting take. I don't know if y'all want to finish the video. It's up to y'all, chat. But we could finish it. But it's a 9-minute rant. But it's like, yo, everybody. It's always easy to just toss off judgment and then like separate ourselves from people's worst decisions. It's so easy to, But a lot of times when people do some fucked up shit, they never in a million years imagined that that's the decision that they was going to make. And a lot of times, the more damaged people in society, the more experienced people in society, the more sharpened and chiseled people. Like take for example, I was thinking of this earlier today. If you were to put two women next to each other, right, a girl with 5 bodies and a girl with 50 bodies that has an OnlyFans, and you were to say, who's gonna cheat, right? Most people would say, who's more likely to cheat? Most people would say the OnlyFans girl with 50 bodies. But what they wouldn't understand is the OnlyFans girl with the 50 bodies versus the girl with the 5 bodies. The OnlyFans girl she has gone through so much experience that she understands her relationship with sex, with lust, with people that are, you know, not trustworthy, X, Y, and Z. She's been through her decisions. She's hopefully have done her shadow work and understood herself and, you know, transcended all of those mistakes that she has made. But the girl with 5 bodies, if she's inexperienced in life, she's untested. When stress comes around, when a tough time or a situation of the relationship comes around, that is the type of person who breaks and folds and goes against their morals. That is the kind of person that's unpredictable. That's the kind of person that, it's like the example when somebody watches somebody get into a fight and they say, well, I would have hit them back. Have you ever been in a fight? Have you ever been pushed? Do you know what you would do? What would you do under that pressure if you're not used to pressure or you haven't experienced that pressure? It be motherfuckers like that have not integrated their shadow selves, that do not fully understand their own nature, their own. It's the typical person who would say something. Do you know what you would do? What would you do under that pressure if you're not used to pressure or you haven't experienced that pressure? It be motherfuckers like that have not integrated their shadow selves, that do not fully understand their own nature, their own. It's the typical person who would say something like, oh, I would never do that. And then they end up doing something like that. A drug, something freaky, etc. Because they always have lived through this shallow version of themselves that has not been deeply integrated with their shadow. And again, this is just a deep conversation, a random talk. Another example of me that compares to this. It's like if you were to add, you take two people, 2 men. One of them is an ex-military CIA guy, right? Like this guy might got 10 bodies overseas or something like that. Ex-Navy SEAL, martial artist, right? And then you take a random civilian and you say, yo, if a guy bumped your shoulder, what are you doing? It's going to be the civilian that says, oh, I'll beat him up. Yeah, ain't no guy bumping me. I ain't going for that. He's responding through his ego. He's responding through his superficial self. It's going to be the ex-Navy SEAL martial artist guy that he's going to be the one to say, oh, I'd rather disengage. I'd rather avoid the fight if I could. This is the guy who can literally kill you. Is trained to break your neck in 3 moves. And he's more likely to adopt the mentality of avoiding the fight, not wanting to deal with the situation, and take the most peaceful route. But the person who lives through their ego, the person who lives through this grandiose sense of self that's inflated in their own minds, they're making unrealistic decision making through the situation. Top 5 voice. Did my shit just lag? Nice voice, Famer. Bro, I hate when it does that, bro. Dude, your voice changed. Okay, stop saying real voice, bro. What that shit is when it lags in the IRL toolkit, which is a server, saves the stream from turning off. It comes back and like, why does it do that? It like changes the frequency of your voice, bro. It's like the weirdest shit ever, bro. How to bargain on journey, move past these things. Honestly, it's a deeper conversation because this is why I believe in this is, I even tie this to religion, bro. This is why I believe when you think about the concept of God, how like a lot of religions describe God, and then they'll say God is all knowing, and then also God is like understanding and forgiving. I think the two go hand in hand. You can't forgive somebody unless you know what they went through. You can't relate to somebody unless you truly understand and hear out their story. Like a lot of people, again, the easiest thing to judge in society is, oh, yo, you got ran through, you had a train ran on you, you had sex and all this. My nigga, she was molested when she was 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? And that's not everybody's excuse. But what does that do to a person's psyche? What does that do to a person's mentality on the world and people and relationships and their body and their relationship with their sexuality? You know, again, I remember I went through like a journey of like just being abstinent, right? And I would have relationships with women that were non-sexual. So, and we would still be cool. You know, we still talk and have conversation. They would open up to me about things. And I remember they just somehow all seemingly had a story of like some sort of SA, harassment, assault or something. And it was like, some of this shit was literally stories of things being told about in broad daylight, like damn near public spaces, gang. And you start to learn a deep respect for like why women react to certain things the way they do. But it's so crazy because I didn't start getting those type of conversations out of women to be able to go deep, not wide, to be able to go into, you know, her soul, to be able to understand and connect with her soul on a deeper level until I took sex out of the picture. Until I was like, I went through this period, I'm like, I'm not having sex. So there's a level of safety and comfort that came almost unspoken within the relationships. Are the ads running? No, it is. Empathy gives you an insane amount of poise and self-control. Like even if somebody's trying to rage bait you and trigger you, you gotta transcend and just oversee things, overstand it. Somebody's trying to rage bait you, somebody's in a bad mood, they on some negative shit. If you understand what's going on, you like, oh, motherfucker, you disrespect me, fuck out of here. You overstand what's going on. It's like, yo, who ruins your day? What's wrong with you that you're bearing this negative energy and this low vibration, and then you're expressing it and putting it into the world? Your inner world is now transforming your outer world. Like in a contagious, very fucking nuclear toxicity type of way. To the point where it's like somebody's angry, walking around mad, mean mug, grunting and angry. You could respond with anger the same way. But you could kill them with kindness. You could change their whole mood. Hey man, you all right? No, you're not even rage baitable. You just have this extremely, almost to compare on the surface level as docile, but you're really not. You're strong in a strength that's unmeasurable. You're strong in a way that you just see through things and don't respond to the surface. You don't respond to the ego interaction. you know, the cheetah is ready for the chocolate drop and appreciates the delicacy of intricate. Like, come on, bruh. Boy, slow down. Boy, slow. But yeah, you know one thing I want to react to chat? Oh, you know what? Let me see something real quick. Let me see something real quick. Let me see something. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I got some banger videos coming out on the Patreon. Like shit that I can't wait to get off my chest. Oh my God. All right, yeah, I'm gonna just say that, bro. I literally was gonna do like have a conversation about a video I want to do on Patreon on stream, but I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just wait, bro. I'm gonna just wait. They gonna get OC, chat. It's shit from like as simple as like, oh, how to have a threesome, to like shit like I was just talking about, like the dark arts, shadow work. I got a video coming out on there called Show Never Tell. Hold on, I got a video. Bro, I got like 3 dark arts videos going on, or one on proportion. I ain't gonna lie, I got some bangers coming on there, bro. I got some bangers coming on there. ECDX Smo, I appreciate the 37 months, gang, you dig. Yo, I need my roles in the Discord. What role do you deserve? What role do you deserve? Proportions? No, it'll make sense. It'll make sense. On my damn soul, I want deep threesomes, especially some in college out of accomplish mission. Hey man, we can get to that, brother. We can get to that. It's certain things I like only talking about on the Patreon, because when they get really OC, it's just like, it ain't meant for everybody. It's meant for motherfuckers that's gonna take that shit seriously. You understand? Like, it's also like a level of privacy of like, you know, the Patreon is hella P, gang. That's another thing too. No, he want that shit bad, on God. Chad, we could even do Discord before I react or after I react. It's up to y'all. We can get in some Discord calls. And I might even do text messages like tomorrow or something. And I'm gonna plan out that E-date next week. Like starting next week. Oh my days. That's not what that means. After. Not a good Discord call was fire, on God. The last video on Patreon was a 15 drop. Or is it threesome overrated? Lot. It depends on the team chemistry, bro. It highly puts, you know, it highly depends on the team's chemistry. RBX first. Okay, all right, bet. You know what I wanted to see? I wanted to see that Dre loyalty test, bro. Who the fuck let Dre get on a loyalty test, man? Mr. Rumpelstiltskin, man. Where is... Am I like fraud? Wait. All I typed was... Make sure my camera in the right spot. Let me make sure my camera in the right spot. Boom. I'm like seeing reaction. I can't find the original video.